So we got to go ahead and get into this exclusive report from Loren LoRosa of the Breakfast Club, where she reveals some interesting information as far as it goes with Shannon, Sharpe, and ESPN. Quote, there are reports circulating that Shannon Sharpe's career at ESPN is over. I reached out to a source familiar with production at ESPN on this, who tells me Shannon, is still on First Take Mondays and Tuesdays, so any other day of the week Shannon is not on, it's just a scheduled day off. This update was as of 10 a.m. Wednesday, 4/23/2025. If this changes, I'll update here. And this is something that should not be surprising to anyone at all. Like, do y'all really think as much money as Shannon brings ESPN to Disney that they're just going to cut him loose? Now, if he was somebody that wasn't bringing them enough eyes, enough attention, enough money, then they probably would have been letting him go and threw him underneath the bus even. Probably went to that extent. But because they realize his worth and know how much good he does for ESPN and First Take as a whole, they're not going to cut him loose. And don't be surprised if you hear an official statement from ESPN themselves where they say, hey, we stand 10 toes behind Shannon. He ain't going nowhere, and there's not a damn thing y'all can do about it. Now, they're not going to say that last part I just said. They'll probably have their own way of doing it. But you'll know where they stand when you see him on Monday and Tuesday. And if we being real, there's not nothing none of y'all going to do. Y'all not going to boycott ESPN. Y'all not going to boycott First Take. ESPN is going to literally look y'all in the face and say, deal with it. We standing by Shannon Sharpe, whether you like it or not. They're not going to publicly say it the way I'm saying it. They're going to say it a different way or just, be more about action. But that's neither here nor there. Now, outside of this, there has been a lot of stuff that's been revealed ever since these allegations came about. Freaky ass texts of him being involved in race play. Part of me understands why he did it, was to kind of show like, hey, this isn't what you think it is. Like, it's some part of like freaky kink that him and the girl had going on. And people were saying that her age at the time was 19, which is crazy. Like, you're 56 years old messing with somebody who's 19. Like, unless he's in the market to try to have another kid. Like, I don't see why he would try to fuck with somebody who's 19. He should listen to Monique and find him an auntie who could, treat him good. Because let's say hypothetically, you jump the broom with a 19-year-old. Don't expect your kids that are twice her age to call her stepmom. Because that's not going to happen. Calling a 19-year-old stepmom is mental. Does he have some wild kinks? Absolutely. Do I think it's weird for him to be dating somebody that's 19? Absolutely. Is it illegal? No, but it's morally incorrect. Like, we know this. Because a 19-year-old is not emotionally mature enough to mess with somebody who's 50-something years old. And what the hell can a 50-something-year-old have in common with a 19-year-old? Like, I can understand if he was to mess with somebody that's like, I don't know, damn near 40, or maybe even somebody that's about to be 50 that got their kids grown and they got time to, kick with you and do whatever have you, and this, that, and the third. I get it. He's one of them old school cats that goes by the philosophy of dating, like dating younger women and all that stuff. It shouldn't really shock to anybody his dating preference in terms of age, simply because in the era he grew up in the era where a lot of older men were dating younger women. And, at the time it was viewed as normal and motherfuckers can get away with it. Now it's like, you can't do that shit no more. Like, it is what it is. You cannot be out here being a freaky dinky. I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard the audio from the phone calls, it sounded like it was AI generated. It didn't sound real. Like, it didn't sound like how two human beings talk and interact with one another. I mean, Shannon did come out later saying it is true, telling Tony Busby, go ahead and put the, whole audio out. Don't just put half of it out. And people are feeling like that the reason why Shannon is doing all this is to kind of dispel any rumors of him being gay or zesty. And it's simply because of that one fit he had that was mean to hell and back when he was spotted courtside, I believe, with one of his employees that's gay. And honestly, I do think that is wrong, like to try to label somebody as gay just because they got a gay friend or a gay employee that they hanging out with. Don't mean they really are. But do I think he needs to go to, extreme lengths to prove that he's not? No, I think that's just a case of him letting the internet get to him and not just let the shit fly. Just make a joke out of it and not take it so seriously. If they call you zesty, make a joke out of it. But if I was you, for the most part, I wouldn't even care about these rumors. If somebody tried to call me gay, I'd probably say, well, I do wear gay apparel around Christmas, and I do have a gay old time sometimes when I go out in public. But outside of that, like, it's not really that deep to really take offense and feel like, damn, I have to put out that Michelle sex tape to prove to the world I'm not gay, or at least DL. If Shannon was gay, I think everybody would accept it. Like, nobody would look at him any different. And outside of those other reasons why people look at him as zesty or gay, like, there may be women who call you zesty or gay just because that they can't get with you. Like, do you know how many women will call a man gay because they get rejected? I think people have to understand too, if ESPN was to try to fire Shannon Sharpe, they got to pay out the wazoo. Because whatever money that they owe him via contract, they would have to pay him up front. They would have to have substantial proof that he actually may have done something to get rid of him. Because let's say if not, and let's say 6 months down the road or sooner than that, we find out, oh, the woman made all this up, then ESPN gonna be looking crazy, and everybody that's been siding with that woman gonna be looking crazy. And honestly, I think if she did make this up, she ought to get hit with the maximum penalty. Life in prison with no possibility of parole. Because if you trying to ruin a man's life, take away everything he worked hard for, something that you didn't work hard for, then you ought to have everything taken away from you. Like, you ought to be locked in there for the rest of your days to remind you everything you did. Because it's a damn shame how somebody can go around spreading an allegation, and let's say it don't come out to be true, and they end up losing everything that they built. And what happens to you? Nothing. You get a slap on the wrist, you get allowed to go home and handle your business however you want to, but you don't do any time behind it. And I think that's fucked up. Now, that isn't to say that that is the case here, but if it is, that woman needs to get hit with the maximum penalty there is. But with that being said, y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.